or for so many different things. Everything we are doing in life is because someone told us to do. If you had joined us yesterday and we were talking about the gender identity and gender completion, which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gives through the Paramashivam program, even there, one of the major things, one of the major points which we had discussed is how even our gender is not dictated, is not something which we know for ourselves. If someone tells you you're a boy, you have to accept that you're a boy. Someone tells you you're a girl, you have to accept that you're a girl. These are societal conditioning, societal patterns which have been put into us by society. And so that is why everything which we don't have any completion in that. Either in our gender identity, we are not experiencing completion. And it's the same thing with life as well. Society tells you to go to school, society tells you to go to college, society tells you to get a specific job in a specific range, market, or workforce, professional life. Everything to you is dictated by society. At the maximum, they might give you a few options here and there, but the fundamental flow, the blueprint of your life is being given to you by society. And unfortunately, individuals, youngsters are not taught how to design their life, how to actually discover what is that they really want to do in life without a purpose. To put it in one simple word, life without a purpose. And so this is one of the many problems, one of the many things humanity doesn't know what to do. They're just so confused, not knowing what to do with themselves, not having a direction in life, not knowing what to do next. This is one of the major completions, one of the purposes of your life you're going to discover in the Paramashivam program, which Swamiji is going to be gracing us with today. Is going to be gracing us with all tomorrow.
That was so beautiful, Mangala Maharaj. Now I think I should just skip the suspense and get into the real topic, which is training your brain to reflect the consciousness. That is the topic which we are going to be discussing about today. So Mangala Maharaj just explained about Adi Kailash and how the lifestyle and how the mission, the whole thing that Swamiji is reviving started in the Adi Kailash. How is that related to the topic that we are going to actually be looking into, which is training your brain into reflecting the consciousness itself, reflecting Swamiji, the ultimate, Paramashiva himself? Well, the Adi Kailasa, the source place which everything started manifesting from Swamiji himself, is one of the place that Kailasa directly is manifesting from, which is the Kalpa Vriksha, the banyan tree. The Kalpataru, which is there as the Nijavatar of Paramashiva, as the living Kalpataru, which is the banyan tree, is Paramashiva himself, Swamiji himself, manifesting in the form of a Kalpataru, meaning a Kalpa as a banyan tree.
It's a banyan tree, exactly.
Yes. So that is the place which everything started from. So that is the ecosystem that is holding everything in Adi Kailasa. Now, what is the connection between that and this? That is what we're going to be seeing now. How is that going to manifest? How is that going to train your brain to reflect the consciousness, Paramashiva, Swamiji himself? Now, Mangala Maharaj, in Adi Kailasa, what is it that we enjoy the most when Swamiji was there? What is it that we enjoy the most in Adi Kailasa?
Actually, Adi Kailash itself is such a good experience. In my time when I was there in Adi Kailash, for many different reasons, we used to go and travel, and we would go for awakening programs, or we would go to a different Adinam. We would travel for different things. But only when you come back to Adi Kailash, you feel like it is home. You feel, it just feels, there's a subtle experience that you have when you come back to Adi Kailash. And that in itself is such a beautiful experience to have. It's Swamiji, literally his blood, sweat, everything is there in Adi Kailash. If you actually go and look through the Nithyananda, and you go through the history of Bidadi, history of the Sangha, you can see that even the Laughing Temple, the first kutir which was constructed, the first buildings which were constructed in Adi Kailash, Swamiji himself had put his own, using his own hands, his own blood and sweat was used in creating those places. He himself would not only put the bricks, even bake the bricks. He would get the mud, he would make it into clay, properly put it in the proper shape, and he would burn it in the whole night. He would put it for burning under the fire, on top of the fire, and he would even make the bricks. So forget about just even constructing the building, even making the material to make the building itself, Swamiji had done personally by himself. He had done so much of hard work to build Adi Kailash. And so literally you can say that not just in a spiritual sense, but even in a physical, in the reality of our plane, in our physical matter reality, Adi Kailash is literally Swamiji's own extension. Many times Swamiji himself has told that my whole body, my whole extension, Adi Kailash is literally the extension of his own body. And there are like so many experiences. I can just keep on going on and on and on about the different ways how Adi Kailash is special and how Swamiji himself has it's just an extension of Swamiji, the whole Adi Kailash experience, the whole breathing space of Adi Kailash. So many of my own personal skin diseases and problems which I have, they become irrelevant on Adi Kailash. Even if I go and travel to Chennai or some other place, it starts coming up. But then when I immediately come back to Adi Kailash, everything just, after a couple of days, after a couple of weeks, it just disappears by itself. And so Adi Kailash by itself is a kshetra. Many times we have gone over this point and we've told again and again repeatedly. And it's, it's public knowledge. Adi Kailash is a very special kshetra. But it's much more, it just directly, it feels like home. The completion which happens on such a subtle level, you didn't even know you needed to have completion in that place. Very beautifully, actually, yesterday we had a sharing from Jared, who shared that you don't know how far you have gone down until you attend the Paramashivam program. You don't even know the different kind of sufferings you're having until you attend the Paramashivam program. It is a literal acid wash the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing throughout our being, throughout our whole, and inside, outside, everything. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, is just doing an acid wash and completely cleansing our being of any incompletions, any problems, and certain things. It's like when you have a problem in your life, it's like having, there's a certain thing, certain which is not attended to your house. It could be, a smelly slipper, a smelly sock, or a proper sewage which has not been cleaned properly. Initially, you know that the problem is there, but without attending to the problem, by and by, the smell starts growing in the house, and you also become insensitive to the damage which is being done. You start becoming insensitive to the junk, to the dirt, to the sewage which is being accumulated. And so because we have become so insensitive to the problems and the reactions and everything which is happening, and it's not that sewage is just, piling up in a corner of the house. It is spreading, it is creating diseases, it is creating problems, it is spoiling the food which you're cooking in your house. It's creating so many multiple different types of problems. But because we became so accustomed to the sewage, so it's just been there for so long, we forgot to even address it as a problem. These are the different kinds of problems. These are the sewages, are the different patterns which we are facing in our life. And we have become so, what is the word which I used? So redundant of it. We have become so accustomed to it that we don't even realize that it is there.
Yes, Maharaj. So all our viewers may be thinking now that, yes, how is this all related to the topic that we are actually going to be discussing today? How is Adi Kailasa, the great ecosystem which has been built by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, how is that going to help us? How is that related to anything in the Paramashivam program that is happening tomorrow and every day till March 1st? They all might be wondering this. Now, let me tell you all that the Paramashivam program is nothing but the whole ecosystem itself recreated to all of you and given as the Paramashivam program that all of you have been experiencing, and whoever are watching, whoever have never attended Swamiji in any other program, who have just come to the program, who have just come here and just seeing us for the first time, Adi Kailash is an ecosystem for enlightenment. Anyone who is seeking for enlightenment, or even if not enlightenment, even if you are just seeking for a better life, even if you are just looking for, okay, I need some kind of a change in my life. If you see any of the kids these days, any of the teenagers, anyone, they might be just stuck in their life in so many different ways. They are stuck in so many different problems in their life. What is Adi Kailasha? Mangalaha Maharaj has so beautifully explained now. That ecosystem itself is manifesting in the Paramashivam program. And through the Paramashivam program, all of us are getting our brain trained. And the initiation that Swamiji is giving, that is what is going to awaken and reflect the consciousness, the Paramashiva Swamiji himself in all of us. So the training that we are getting is all the other things that we are doing in the program, like the yoga that we are doing and other processes, other kriyas, other meditations that we are doing in the whole day program, is all the training for that one experience, for that one reflection, Paramashiva himself, Swamiji himself in all of us happening. That is what is the glimpse of the whole Adi Kailasa being given, the whole ecosystem manifesting in our life, in just the place that you are living. It's just Swamiji giving the whole enlightenment to you wherever you are, wherever you, maybe Swamiji is like giving the whole thing to you and making you all experience that no one should ever miss. Swamiji is making sure of that no one even misses this in any circumstances of their life if they're not able to travel, because many people have seen that in when the programs used to be conducted in Adi Kailash, so many people used to be able to not travel because they were not able to get the flight tickets, they were not able to get the visas, they were not, so many different reasons people used to not be able to travel. But now Swamiji is manifesting the Kailasa itself, the Adi Kailasa itself in all of your lives, wherever you may be, whoever have maybe before because of some obstacle you have not been able to manifest the Paramashivam or Mahaparamashivam or any of the inner awakening programs that was conducted by Swamiji himself in Adi Kailasa or any other Kailasa. Now it is coming to all of your place as Kailasa itself coming to all of you. Swamiji himself is coming to all of your homes and giving, like, the whole initiation itself is coming to you wherever you are. You don't have to do anything literally. You just have to come and be attentive and be present in the program in front of Swamiji when Swamiji is giving the initiation. That is all that you need to actually do. There is nothing else, and there is literally nothing else that you have to do. There is only just coming and being part of it and sitting in front of Swamiji and nothing else. There is nothing else that I have to tell that you have to do this, you have to do that, nothing. You just have to come and be part of the program, sitting in front of Swamiji, and the rest will happen by itself. The training your brain means just sitting in front of Swamiji. Just sitting in front of Swamiji to for Swamiji to do what he's supposed to do. We don't know what Swamiji is going to do to us. Everybody, what Swamiji is going to do is completely different. The experience I have, the experience someone else has is completely different. It's never the experience is going to be the same. That is what you're going to experience in the Mahaparamashivam program tomorrow. You're going to be getting trained and getting the consciousness itself of Paramashiva, Swamiji himself, reflected in your being. So you are going to be manifesting Swamiji himself in your life, and there is nothing more beautiful than this that could happen to anyone.
Just to expand upon what Paramashivam Maharaj had shared, today Swamiji is gracing us in the Sarvanya Peetham with the energy and space of the Adi Kailasa Sarvanya Peetham. Like this, every single day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is going to be coming in that space, in the bhava, in the environment, the Vatavarna of each Sarvanya Peetham. So like today we are having the Adi Kailasa Sarvanya Peetham, tomorrow it's going to be a different Sarvanya Peetham, day after tomorrow it's going to be a different Peetham. And so the same way how Swamiji is bringing these Bhava Samaya Darshans, we're having the Bhava Samaya Darshans for almost a couple of years now. Swamiji has been continuously, regularly giving us various Bhava Samaya Darshans, and that's only being expanding and becoming more and more. So how having the darshan of Venkateshwara, darshan of Kalabhairava, of Lingodbhava, having all of them just being manifested in your screen, whether you're watching on your phone or your laptop or your TV, Kailasa is coming to you, Swamiji is coming to you, and that is only being expanded, not just to limited to the deity, to the God which Swamiji is manifesting, but also the Vatavarna, the environment, the Sarvanya Peetham also is being manifested, and that space, the same feeling, energy of that, of whatever the Sarvanya Peetham is, whatever the Pita is, the same energy is coming along as well. And so this is some of the things which you cannot actually, no one else can replicate. This is something which only Swamiji is doing, and only Swamiji can do for all of us, for humanity. I mean, come to think, how many of us even knew about the different Sarvanya Peethams until Swamiji revealed and shared all these great truths, great experiences with all of us. And so in many ways, it is only because of Swamiji we are truly not only discovering Hinduism, but also discovering ourselves. Truly, what does it mean to be alive? What does it mean to have to, to be a contributing member to society? How do we find the solutions to the problems which we are having in our life? For all of these answers, it is only one: Hinduism, reviving the authentic Hinduism, which Swamiji is doing in every possible way, every possible aspect, and in every possible method. And so the topic of today's session, train your brain to reflect consciousness, is nothing but allowing Swamiji to work on you, having these right understandings. Actually, very beautifully, Swamiji had shared that in the Agamas, in the Jnana Pada, especially of the Agamas, all the Agamas are divided into 4 parts: Charya Pada, Kriya Pada, Yoga Pada, and Jnana Pada. So in the Jnana Pada part of the Agama, Paramashiva very beautifully says that to manifest any solution in your life, to solve any problem in your life, there's no need for any technique to be practiced. Knowledge is solution. These are the exact words which Swamiji said. Knowledge is solution. When you have the right knowledge, naturally the solution will match problems. When it comes to fire, all of us have the understanding that if you touch fire, if you put your hand in fire, you are going to get burned. It is a simple knowledge. There is no technique which you need to do about it. There is no special seminar which you need to have about it. You simply know the fact fire burns. You put your hand in the fire, it will burn. It's a simple knowledge. It is the same way. Everything in life, when you have the right understanding, right context, you know why it is wrong for you, how it will damage your body, damage your system. Naturally, you will just, it's not even a question. No one has a question, do I go put my hand in fire or not? That no one does.
Yes.
You just, everyone, it's a simple, mutual understanding everyone has. Fire burns. The same way, certain cognition, certain thought current, certain action, it burns your inner being, it burns the system. It burns the Swamiji in you. And it is this understanding which Paramashiva reveals in the Agamas, which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is decoding and explaining to all of us in the language that we understand for our modern era, for the age which we speak. In this language, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is giving and translating it in a way from the Sanskrit and the great Tamil of the languages in which these truths have been recorded to the language which we understand and speak. The translation of it is being done by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and is being beautifully presented to all of us in a way where we can understand and we can speak in the same language in the same way. So coming again, these are all just glimpses, and as we said yesterday as well, we can only do so much by speaking. But it is only when you truly experience the program and listen to the experiences of others also who have gone through the previous Mahaparamashivam programs, and they're going to be joining us, and they're going to be sharing on today's segment as well. We have a couple of devotees who are going to be coming and joining us and going to be sharing their experiences about the Mahaparamashivam program. So you don't need to take our word for it, but you can even take people like you who are outside, who are studying, who are working, who have family, who have jobs. The amount of transformation which has happened in their life, in their own words, is incomparable. The amount of possibilities which open up in their life is unimaginable. We will be trying to do one thing, but a possibility, a door, a path, a new way for another thing opens up. Yesterday, beautifully, Tirupaya was sharing. He wanted to do more contribution through the field of yoga. And so when he entered into one step, he did one thing for establishing yoga studio to start enriching people through yoga. He only did one thing, but he saw the second door was opened. And so when he went for the second door, he saw the third door opened. And then from the third door, the fourth, and like that, so beautifully, his life is expanded now. And nothing he did. All he did was attend the Mahaparamashivam program and let life happen from there, let life take off from there. And so Swamiji is coming in the Bhava where he established the Adi Kailasa Sarvanya Peetham, created the headquarters, the base for where the mission started. From that Bhava, this Leela is what is going to be expressed through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism tomorrow. So for all of you out there who feel that you don't know what is happening in your life, you're not sure what to do next, you just followed the rat race, you just followed what everyone was doing. One sheep jumps over the fence, you're like all the other sheep, you're also jumping over the fence, but you don't know, you're having an inner struggle. What is that I'm supposed to be doing in life? What is my contribution for society? Everyone is becoming a doctor, a lawyer, but what is it that I want to do? What is it that I need? For all of this, the simple answer is coming to the Mahaparamashivam program, attending the Mahaparamashivam program.
But Mangala Maharaj, we have not even told the people how to register for the program still. So all of you, please scan the QR code that is being projected over here, and you will get into the Mahaparamashivam program link, and you'll be able to register yourself or just fill your intentions, and we will reach out to you and help you manifest your reality and manifest the Mahaparamashivam program in your life. So all of you now click on the QR code that is being projected over here, and you will be led to the intention form link, and you can fill your intention over there, and just filling this intention is enough. And filling this intention means taking a decision towards the Mahaparamashivam program. That's all it is. The moment you just decide and tell that yes, I am going to attend the Mahaparamashivam program and I want the breakthroughs to happen in my life. So just the decision is enough. You will see that Swamiji is manifesting in your life and making all the things, any obstacle that you might be having, anything that you feel that you are having, this is my difficulty, this is the difficulty, maybe you're if maybe someone in your house might not be wanting you to attend the program that Swamiji is conducting, or anyone who is any obstacle that you might have, you might not be able to do anything in your life, and because of which you are not able to attend the program, you can fill the intention form and just let us know that you want to attend the program, and we will make sure to reach you and cause your Paramashivam for you and make sure that you are able to attend the Paramashivam program. So now you can just scan the QR code and you will be able to fill your intentions in the QR code.
Yes, thank you so much, Professor Maharaj. Going on talking about the Paramashivam program. Alternatively, if you have not been able to scan the QR code, you can also just visit the website paramashivoham.org, and that will also lead you to the landing page where you can register and submit your intention to attend the program.
Yes.
We have a huge team of people who are waiting for you to come with your intention, and they are going to help you manifest the Paramashivam program for you. So even here, you take one step towards Swamiji for attending this program. Swamiji is going to manifest even to make this program happen in your life. Swamiji is going to be doing it for you as well.
Yes.
And so with this, in the next segment of our program, we're going to be having some devotees to come and share their experiences which they've had of the Paramashivam program in the previous batch. So stay tuned, don't miss their beautiful sharings where they're going to share how their life has completely taken a complete 180 and they're living a completely different life compared to the life they've been living before the program. So please stay tuned, we'll be back after a short break. A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future. An enlightened humanity leads to a better world. During the Paramashivam program, we help people to discover their superhuman possibilities and help them to find and achieve the true purpose of their birth by giving them the techniques, practices, and methodologies from the Vedagamas, the original source scriptures of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the ancient original Vedas and Agamas in all its glory, in a user-friendly way for the modern mind. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is transforming human beings into divine beings, reviving, initiating, and replicating the 463 powers from the Agamas revealed by Paramashiva. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is not just giving solutions for every problem man faces, but is making them irrelevant to their lives by transforming human beings into divine beings.
Listen. Any argument presented by your mind, body, your present reality to establish you are not Paramashiva. You are not omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Anything presented to prove you are not Paramashiva is illegitimate. Decide this. This is super determinism. Understand? Anything you declare as illegitimate will lose power over you, will die in few days, few minutes, maybe in few weeks, whatever few days it takes. It will not have power over you. Understand? This is the method for sudden enlightenment. This is the method for sudden enlightenment. It happens by the Shaktipada. Here Paramashiva is sitting to tell you all, you are Paramashiva, you are me, with Shaktipada and Shaktinipada.
The Dvitiya Vijnasa Krama is an extensive and thorough yoga sequence to prepare your body to receive the experience being given by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Through the yoga, which is aligned as per the source scriptures laid down by Paramashiva and the Agamas, you break all the impossibility in your body and in turn break the very cognition of impossibility. The program leads you to go beyond your human frame and limiting human ideas, which prevents you from living your highest possibility.
I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment.
Again I tell you, I am not here to prove I am God, I am here to prove you are God.
Don't wait to become divine. Register now at paramashivoham.org. A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future.
नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। Nithyananda. I welcome all the participants to this most eventful Bhava Samadhi Darshan. The Nijavatara, the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, manifesting today as Maha Sadashiva Murti, gracing the whole world with his presence, with his grace, with the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, empowering all of us to experience the superconscious mutation. I'm sure all the participants and viewers are having amazing time, especially the number of Bhava Samadhi Darshans for the last few months, how Swamiji is showering the whole humanity with his darshans and powerful satsangs, constantly inspiring us to make us realize that we are all Paramashiva, the inner divinity within us. So now today's segment is going to be one more interesting segment on the contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in gender equality. So before we get into the segment, we would like to share with all the participants that let us keep this space as interactive as possible. And if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions or comments, please feel free to use the MPSN group, the Paramashivam group in Facebook. So all you need to do is the QR code is being projected on the screen. So if you may scan the QR code using your mobile device, it will directly lead you to the MPSN group where you can post your comments, suggestions, and whatever you would like to hear from us, more from us, you can please post them there. And in the end of this segment, we're also going to be having a third eye scanning segment. So whoever is finding obstacles to manifest being part of Sarvanipita, or you're finding obstacles to manifest the Maha Paramashivam Season 2 program, you can request for a third eye scan, and that will also be scanned at the end of this segment. So, so how many of you are excited for this segment and looking forward to listen and know more about the the contributions of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in gender equality? You may feel free to post that in the chat or in the MPSN group. Yes. So today, before we get into the contributions of Swamiji in gender equality, the Tiruchengodu Sarvanyapitam, one of the 21 kingdoms where Swamiji is the Guru Mahasanidhanam. So we'll be looking into how this whole Tiruchengodu Sarvanyapitam was made, and mainly focusing on the humble beginnings of Kailasa. Today we know Kailasa as the first nation of Hindus, which is so historical. The plight of Hindus for the last 2000 plus years who went through brutal persecution, finally coming to the culmination where we all have the first nation, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the sovereign and the constitutional authority guiding the whole humanity into the science of superconscious living. Today, Kailasa has established diplomatic relations with several nations in the world, and this, the policies of Kailasa is welcomed in global level, where it is actually being a trendsetter for approaching the world issues through the sciences, sacred sciences of Vedas and Agamas. And almost every week we have the Kailasa entering into diplomatic relationship with another country. And so many contributions and so many success of Kailasa nation we have been seeing. But how did this all begin? So that is what we'll be looking into the first part of the segment, which is the humble beginnings of Kailasa. Swamiji has time and again shared with all of us that it is always one person at a time and one being at a time. What we experience as Kailasa today, it is all because of Swamiji's hard work, 30 years of hard work, which is something unimaginable. As a single person, Swamiji has built this whole nation out of his sheer love and compassion for the humanity. Now, we'll look into a small video which actually talks about, or even shares where you can actually connect with the amount of hard work and the humble beginnings of Kailasa, how it all started, and what we are experiencing today as Kailasa's success is something unimaginable. But over the last 30 years, Swamiji's hard work is something we cannot even understand or recognize. So let's take a look at the video, which will actually where we can connect and understand Swamiji's hard work.
Adi Kailash Kutir. This is the first bed cum simhasan. In the night time I'll use this as a bed, and daytime I'll sit, and villagers or people who come for healing, and see that shed where the pujari is staying now, that used to be only single wall and just the top. There is no three-side wall. So, but this building was there, which used to stay Pratap, the earlier owner. He used to stay. The first time when we printed calendar with banyan tree and Dakshinamurti, in 2003 we printed. Actually 2002 I did the foundation stone. A small bit land was given. These guys have already wanted to give, they committed to give. The registration process did not happen in 2002 because somebody was traveling in their family. The registration happened in 2003, but the Bhumi Puja was done in 2002 with another one person who gave a small bit of land. And so foundation was laid actually in 2002 on Chitra Nakshatram and Namavasya. Now only we found out it was Chitra Nakshatram. Gurukul can also come and hear the story. See, first calendar we printed, we offered to Dakshinamurti and brought it and stuck to the wall. Still it is there. Actually, Pratap had a high respect for me. So after he allowed me to started using this. He never stayed here. He used to stay only in that building. He shifted there. See, first I started staying there for few days, and then he saw that there was not even shade all these three side and the security things. Then he asked me, Swamiji, you stay here. Then started staying here. He built a toilet just for me, and then once I started staying here, he stopped using it. So if at all he comes, then I'll go and rest there. Used to have that one, that kayar mat cart, the kaitakatal solumilla, kaitakatal kayar mat, rope cart, that kind of a cart here. And then that started giving way. It became a little old. So then I started using this nighttime bed and daytime simhasan. This was the 2-in-1. And that time itself, what all I collected, the temple photographs, the book on organic gardening, you can see all that. See, the whole Sangha, I had a clear vision. And almost, see, if you get inauguration invitation, that shows very clearly, I go to studio, get the photographer, ask the photography to be done, and then I go to another one studio, Photoshop the whole thing, place everything. It was personally designed by me. Nobody else is there designing. Then fun making the CM agree to come. That was, you are sitting CM. Inaugurated, we had 2 functions, one for Swamis, one for politicians. So sitting CM and ex-farmer CM both came. Video is there. Both of them came for inauguration. We have Eh? Including the blessing cards we gave, everything we have a copy, and car sticker, like an internal gumming from sticking from inside. Ah. When we started, and where we get few hundred rupee and do a work, we get few more hundred rupee and do a work. That way of lifestyle, that way of functioning.
That was such an inspirational revelation by Swamiji, because what we see as Kailasa today, as the first nation of all the Hindus, is out of sheer hard work of Swamiji. Right from like what Swamiji is saying, the sharing is 2 decades before how Swamiji started the whole Kailasa. And in today's segment, we will be seeing the humble beginnings of Kailasa in Tiruchengodu Adi, which is even before this Adi Kailasa sharing. So literally, how Swamiji started his first monastery. Yes, so this is the first ever Kailasa, and you can see here in 2001, 14th April, Swamiji inaugurating the Avati Palayam, and this land was donated by a devotee to Swamiji, who was guided by the divine. You can clearly see here how Swamiji is carrying the photos of the Guru and coming forward to inaugurate this historic place, the first ever Kailasa. So this monastery is located in Bhavani Sangamam, a confluence of 3 sacred rivers, Kaveri, Bhavani, and Amrita. And yes, you can see here literally Swamiji is organizing the entire monastery all by himself. And there are so many evidences of Swamiji maintaining a diary of each and every person, whoever enters and receives healings from Swamiji. Swamiji himself used to note down their contact details, maintain their entire database, follow up and find out if they are healed, and then invite them for the next Homa. So this level of hard work Swamiji himself has put in to form the Kailasa to whatever it is today. And literally, you can see here the thatched roof of the entire monastery. One side is not even completed, right? So the whole Kailasa has this humble beginnings where Swamiji himself is involved in all this construction, and with a board, Ramakrishna Dhyana Pital, and Swamiji guiding all the devotees into the science of living enlightenment. So it was hours and hours Swamiji spent in building each and every person, each and every being. So there are so many evidences where Swamiji has recorded a complete diary of all the people whoever visits the Adinam, receives healing, their entire contact database Swamiji maintains and follows up and ensures that they are healed and invites them for the next puja. And after they come to the puja, how we can develop into Adinamasi. So like that, each and everything Swamiji used to do all by himself back in 2001 itself, literally 2 decades before. And that was the beginning of the first ever Kailasa. And slowly from there to Adi Kailas in 10th Peter. And then literally Kailasas spread all across the world. And today they are standing as the first nation of Hindus. So one of the important contributions in today's segment, we're going to see one of the important contributions of Swamiji in terms of gender empowerment. Gender equality is one of the subjects that Yes. So the devastating impact of gender bias in the modern world. So, how the women are treated today. For example, you take the stats, about 200 million children and women experience physical and mental violence today. A study that was published in February 2021 found that women with promising academic careers have limited leadership prospects in workplace, and they also experience sexual and emotional violence in the workplace. It also reveals that females academic internal medicine hospitalists face frequent gender-based discrimination and sexual harassment in the workplace. And they also receive low pay, fewer benefits, fewer opportunities compared to men. And the pregnant or the nursing women are also ill-treated. So there are several issues that we face in today's world in terms of gender equality, and it is not resolved. And even the feminism that we see today, it's not giving the desired results. It's all about competing rather than expression of unique aspects that each gender can contribute to a workplace. Now, let us take a few minutes to look into women in Hinduism, how women is treated in Hinduism. In Hinduism, women is the first guru, and Sadashiva says that Devi once asked, "If I see Guru and God both at one time, to whom should I bow down?" And Paramashivam says that you have to bow down to Guru, right? In Hinduism, Guru has the utmost importance because Guru brings God in our lives. Only by the grace of Guru, God happens in our lives, which is why Paramashiva tells us always bow down to Guru. And Hinduism, Mother is the first Guru. So this is how we worship feminine consciousness in Hinduism. And one of the other things which I also wanted to bring it out is the sacred verses in Adharva Veda. One of the things that Hinduism is always persecuted is about how the sacred texts in Hinduism are mistranslated and misquoted, that they have always discriminated women in terms of equality. That is how the mistranslated and misquoted text talks about women in Hinduism. But now in today's segment, we're going to see some of the shocking revelations of how women in Hinduism is always respected. So one of the things that I wanted to share is the sacred text from the Adharva Veda, which talks about girls should train themselves to become complex scholars and youthful through brahmacharya and then enter the married life. This is from Adharva Veda 11.5.18. See, we always hear that girls are denied education in Hinduism. That is how the Macaulay text and the intellectual persecution on Hinduism has always showed us that girls are denied education. But as per the sacred verses, girls should be trained into complex methodologies and they have to become scholarly. So next is parents should give their Parents should give their daughter intellectuality and the power of knowledge when she leaves for the husband's home. They should give her wealth of knowledge. And once again, what we're seeing here is husband to wife, give us the discourse of knowledge. Again and again, all these sacred verses shows that Hinduism always promoted, in fact, revered women's knowledge and always empowered women with knowledge. Oh, women, you know everything. Please provide us the strength of prosperity and wealth. Oh, women, you are the keeper of knowledge of all types, which is karma. So this is how a woman was treated in Hindu kingdoms and Hindu society. And more verses we are just sharing where it says that women is endowed with knowledge. And this is a very important verse. Would like to bring it to the attention of all the viewers. Oh, Guru, this bride is protector of your entire family. May she dwell in your home for a period and sow seeds of intellect. See, there is a verse, actually, textbooks, which talks about how woman is always under the shadow of a man right from her birth, whether it is a father or a brother or a husband. All the time, she needs to be under the shadow of a man. So this is how mistranslated and text on Hinduism portray such that women is experiencing a lot of discrimination in Hinduism, but in reality, the women after marriage, she is revered for the kind of knowledge that she brings to the family. Hey wife, become the queen and manager of everyone in the family of your husband. So this is how woman was treated after she gets married. I'm knowledgeable and you are also knowledgeable. If I'm Samaved, then you are Rigveda. So literally, we can see all these sacred verses talks about the intellectual knowledge that the woman carries and how she is revered by the entire society. So on one hand, we have seen so far that the intellectual knowledge of women in the society is revered. And next, we are going to see about how women as leaders, how they evolved as leaders in Hindu civilization. So one more sacred verse which talks about where a woman is sharing that my destiny is as glorious as the rising sun. I am the flag of my home and society. I am also their head. I can give impressive discourses. My sons conquer enemies. My daughter illuminates the whole world. I myself am winner of all enemies. My husband has infinite glory. I have made these sacrifices which make a king successful. I have also been successful. I have destroyed my enemies. You can see how powerful a woman used to be in Hindu kingdoms. Women should take part in legislative chambers and put their views on forefront. And in this mantra, it is enforced that wife or ruler should give education of politics to others. Likewise, the king should do justice for the people and queen should justify her role. So in every level, whether it is a woman in the society or in the kingdoms, or a woman who is a ruler, in every level, woman is worshipped, revered, and respected for the knowledge and clarity that she brings to our lives. So this is how women used to be back in the days when Vedas and Agamas used as the constitution for running the entire Hindu kingdoms. And over the years, because of Hindu persecution, the first thing that the anti-Hindus did was completely they mistranslated and misquoted these sacred texts, where in a way that we started developing that hatred towards identifying ourselves as even a Hindu.
If you awaken the third eye, you don't have to go through, if you work on the third eye, you don't have to go through the regular, usual, logical system of thinking to come to a conclusion. That is why, from the time immemorial, women of India are asked to work on the third eye. She is like a counselor. She is like a counselor. Always the husbands, they come back in the evening and put all the business problems in front of her, get her ideas and opinion and counseling. She was respected because constantly she works on her third eye. There are so many ways to work on the third eye. That kumkum or the bindu which you are using is also one method. And concentrating on the lamp. If you see a traditional Indian woman's life, It's nothing but working on third eye. Whole day, their lifestyle is nothing but working on third eye. They are knowingly or unknowingly, they work on the third eye. And moreover, women by very nature are intuitive. They are very intuitive. Just by seeing somebody, they can tell where he is looking, what far he is looking. Because the intuition is a basic need for them to protect themselves. From the young age, they have to develop that intuition to protect themselves. It is not a luxury for them, it is a basic need for them. So just one glance is enough, where this guy is looking, what far he is looking, what he is thinking in the mind. You can't escape from women's intuition. But sometimes they are so graceful, they let you think that they don't know. They just let you play your game. They do not want to be too much on you. But one thing I can be sure, the intuition power of women is lot more than men by the very nature. Second thing, the techniques traditional Indian women practice, like kumkum or every day sitting in front of that lamp and meditating on it, all these things are techniques to awaken the third eye.
Now, let us also take a look at the Manusmriti, which is one of the most persecuted Hindu scripture, and how Manusmriti defines the roles and responsibilities and rights of women. As per Manusmriti, a daughter is equivalent to a son. In her presence, there is no question of anyone snatching away her right over property. The right is equal in father's property for both son and the daughter. Again, always we are used to the ideas that women is denied educational rights, women is denied of inheritance rights. So these were the common misconception and hatred that was spread because of anti-Hindu intellectual persecution that anti-Hindus did as an intellectual persecution to Hinduism. And now in this whole segment we'll be talking about the different Hindu laws which literally empower the Hindu women. A daughter alone has the right over personal property of her mother. That is one of the laws as per Manusmriti. And another law is, if a person has no kin or wife, then his wealth be distributed equally amongst his brothers and sisters. If the elder brother refuses to give a due share to other brothers, then he is held culpable by law. So in fact, if you are not going to respect women in the society, you are actually considered as a culprit. So those relatives who rob away or thrive on wealth, property, vehicles, or dresses of a woman or her family are committers of sin. So Hindu CRPC section 8.28. So if a woman is alone because she has no children or no men to provide for her security in her family, then it is a duty of the government to ensure her safety and security. If a wealth is robbed by her relatives or friends, then the government should provide strict consequences to the culprits and have her wealth. So this amount of social security was provided to the Hindu women those days. And as per Hindu Puranas, there is this beautiful ritual of Tulabharam where Bhagavan Sri Krishna on the golden throne, sat on a golden weighing scale, and his wife Satyabhama puts lots of gold jewels and coins to show her love towards Bhagavan Krishna. What this shows is that one angle to look at it is Devi Satyabhama had her own independent wealth and property apart from what she had shared with Bhagwan Krishna. And for more than 4,900 years, until British broke and changed the Hindu law of succession and inheritance, Hindu women had right to inherit their own wealth, property, and assets. And to protect the interest of their knowledge, interest of their daughters after marriage, Hindu kings and fathers would give huge shares of their wealth to their daughters, which they would exclusively own. And as per Hindu law, it could not be taken away from her. But this was but this was misrepresented as the dowry system. Please understand, this wealth that the woman carries from her parents, it is completely given to her, and she should not be sharing that wealth with others. So this is given as a security for her own life, not as I have to give this to get rid of my daughter from my family. That is how the misconception is always spread in the society about women. Yes. So ensure that these women never weep out of sorrow. So even they cannot cry as per Hindu law. Please understand, women is revered, respected, and so much of security and protection is provided to women. The society that respects women is a heaven, and where women are denigrated, even the noble actions go waste.
If you have a chaste woman in your life, either as a wife or as a daughter or as a sister, as any one relationship, I tell you, listen to this word. You will never have accidents. You will always be protected by all the unknown, unseen problems. A chaste woman, one chaste woman in your life, either as a sister or as daughter or as mother or as a wife, any one relationship, it can be any. If one chaste woman is there in your life, you will not have any unknown, unseen problems. The whole cosmos, grahas, will simply protect you. You may think I am giving two big mystical words. Understand, I believe that. I myself a believer of this truth. I myself a believer of this truth. The chastity of that woman. Let me define again the chastity. The achalatva dimension of consciousness manifesting in body and mind in all relationships is chastity. Man having the chaste women in their life, either as mother or daughter or sister or spouse or whatever, some relationship brings cosmic protection. You don't know the power of it. Maybe I'll have to have few days satsang just for that. Just for that. I think it is my responsibility to reveal the sacred secrets of chastity in every dimension.
Yes. The Hindu law related to women assuming the role of a son in absence of male sibling. So he who has no son may make his daughter in the following manner as an appointed daughter, Putrika, and the male child born out of her shall perform my funeral rites. Probably the most famous example of the appointed daughter is the incarnation of Devi Meenakshi herself. She took charge of father's kingdom and established her supremacy in all the Hindu kingdoms. Literally, she won 3 worlds before she penned Paramashivam and Kailasa. So, more examples of appointed daughter Putrika includes Queen Durgavati, Queen Ahilyabai, then Queen Avantibai, and then we also have Rani Lakshmibai. Yes, so far we have seen various aspects of how gender equality never existed in Hinduism, and especially the laws pertaining to how the Hindu society was governed always provided the necessary protection to Hindus, to Hindu women. Whether it and we have clearly seeing that the dowry system, the sati, and women are denied of education. Women are denied with inheritance rights. All these are blatant lies that's been spread in the society by the anti-Hindus. And now in the next segment, we're going to see one of the most persecuted traditions of Hinduism, which is the Rudra Kanya tradition, which is actually called as a Devadasi's tradition, which is completely persecuted and spread lots of lies about it. So now we are going to see the Sarvaparitraga of Vellayamal, who used to be dancer from the dancer in the Srirangam temple. And in the Tamil month of Vaikasi, the Alauddin Khilji, who was the Sultanate who sent his commander to literally destroy the entire Srirangam temple. So in this attack, literally they killed about 13,000 Hindu men, but the sacrifice of 70 Devadasis literally saved the entire Srirangam, and especially the main deity, the Nambarmal, was protected because of the sacrifice of 70 Devadasis who were led by Vellayamman. The army of the Sultanate looted the entire lot of gold from the temple, but they were not able to seize the main deity, which is Lord Raghunatha, Nambarmal. So at that time, what happened was Vellayammal, who was the Devadasi, she seduced the Sultanate king, and she took him to the tower, top of the tower, and from there she pushed him from the top of the tower, and she also committed she also self-immolated, literally. So, and the 70 Devadasis self-immolated themselves and literally burned the rest of the Sultanate army. So it is because of the ultimate sacrifice of Vellayammal and the 70 Devadasis, which literally saved the main deity Nambarumal today. So it is not a laziness or it is not huge violence. It is actually the ferocious Tyaga, strategic Tyaga that these Devadasis exhibited those days, which saved this entire enlightenment ecosystem for us today. So, hailing Vellayammal's sacrifice, the chief of Vijayanagara forces, Kempanna, who drove away the Sultanate forces, named the tower after her. So, this tower always used to be colored in white. It's painted white. And even till today, on Adi Amavasai day, a homage is being performed on behalf of all the 13,000 Vaishnavite Hindu warriors who left their body, and the 70 Devadasis who sacrificed themselves to protect this enlightenment ecosystem of Srirangam. So the so-called gender equality that we are seeing today is actually infused in the Hindu kingdoms by anti-Hindus. It is not the Hindu scriptures. It is actually anti-Hindus who infused this level of gender inequality. So when facing defeat in the war, Indian royal women committed mass self-immolation by jumping into huge pyre of fire. This was done to protect the purity of their body and the DNA and to avoid capture, sex enslavement and rape by any foreign invaders. So they had to protect themselves from these anti-Hindus and these invaders, not because it was told in the Shastras that they have to go and immolate themselves in the absence of husband. So Rajput women burnt their bodies rather than drinking poison because even after their death, they didn't want their bodies to be touched by any men. So simultaneously, men would tie an orange cloth on their head and ritually march into their battlefield, fighting much larger army until death. Traditionally, the war is called Sakha. So far, we've seen a glimpse on how the Hindu women are empowered in the society, whether it is in terms of education or property inheritance or the administration skills or how they protected and held the whole ecosystem together with their strategic tyaga. This is what we have seen today. And Swamiji has literally revived all of these aspects, whatever we are talking about, how women used to be empowered in Vedic era. This is exactly how Swamiji revive this entire tradition. And today we are in the world where we are literally experiencing 300 plus million girl children and women are experiencing sexual enslavement, sexual violence in the workplace and elsewhere. So, but Swamiji has revived Hindu feminism and made us all experience what is feminism in its true sense. So what you're seeing here, Kailasa, is something so beautiful, like where all the children are allowed to are participating in the arts, whether it is singing, dancing. Most of the leadership positions in the Kailasa, Swamiji has empowered the women to uphold. And here you're seeing that women are encouraged to do chanting, abhishekam, and participate in the temple rituals. Swamiji has conducted several women empowerment workshops, right, for the last 2 decades, in fact. And so what you're seeing here is the pictures from women empowerment workshops that Swamiji conducted back in 2008. And Swamiji even launched 108 women empowerment centers all around India. And Swamiji also introduced Nithyananda Grama Seva Yojana, where India, they are empowered to self-sustain themselves. So you can see here free medical checkups for rural and indigenous women in Adi Kailasa. So several such initiatives the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has established in the last 3 decades of bridging the gap in the society about gender intolerance and gender inequality. What you're looking here is the rural women empowered through job training in jewelry making and science of Rudraksha. Kailasa also offers spiritual and mental well-being counseling to rural and indigenous women. In addition to providing health assistance, medical camps for rural women, they also train for labor and trade through agronomy, farming, cultivation, and agriculture. Kailasa has empowered the indigenous women through teaching them to perform Hindu rituals, temple administration, and training them in all temple sciences. So far we've taken a short glimpse of various contributions that Swamiji has done to bridge this gap in the society where women feel suppressed and devoid of rights in today's world. How Swamiji has empowered the divine feminine consciousness in all the women and literally revived the way how women used to be treated in Vedic era, whether it is in terms of excellence in education, empowering them in administration, empowering them in inheritance and empowering them in expressing themselves through arts and tyaga, the undeniable tyaga that woman is always epitome of. And going to be having a speaker who's going to share her experiences of being in Kailasa as a woman, how she was able to overcome the gender inequality that she faced in society, and how Swamiji's teachings literally empowered her to discover who she truly is. So it is my pleasure to welcome Ma Durjati to the show today.
Nithyananda.
Yes, Nithyananda Ma. So first of all, thank you so much for joining the segment today. It is my pleasure to welcome you. And like I mentioned to all the participants and viewers, you've definitely gone through a lot before meeting Swamiji. And after meeting Swamiji, you can definitely see the changes and the confidence that you radiate as a being, as a woman in the society. So would you like to share an insight about how it was for you to be in the society before you met Swamiji, and how the teachings of Swamiji empowered you to face the society and be sure of who you are?
I knew from a young age I was different. And throughout my life, I just felt like I didn't quite fit into the world, and I felt somehow, somewhere out there, my tribe is out there waiting. And it turns out it's you guys. I've been, an LGBTQ woman since a very young age, and as a woman, we go through our struggles, our ups and downs, wanting to feel safe, having trouble feeling safe, and you add the layer of also being LGBTQ plus on the spectrum of that. It's another layer of challenge with, and I struggle to find my place in the world. But before I knew what Tyaga was, I strongly feel that's what I expressed throughout my life, and ultimately, that's what led me to finding Swamiji and finding that place where I no longer feel that I don't fit in, like I found the right place. I was completely accepted, celebrated, and respected as a woman, and who I am as an LGBTQ woman.
Wow. Would you like to share how Swamiji's teachings and Kailasa empowered you to be assured of this identity, and also enrich the whole world about being being confident about who you are?
I watched, when I first came to Swamiji, I found him on YouTube, and I found him by looking up Kundalini Yoga. But I also watched his videos about female empowerment and Hindu women, and that greatly appealed to me. And I remember him speaking about him being transcendental gender. He was beyond gender as a Raja sannyasi. And I found that incredibly appealing. And I got the invite to be Adi Kailasavasi, Adhinavasi at that time. And I came straight away. I wasted no time coming to India. And I was still learning about Swamiji and Hinduism's views on LGBTQ and women as well. And I had an open mind coming in. Like, see, Swamiji was my absolute very first introduction to Hinduism. I did not know Hinduism before him. So I was eager to hear how he would his teachings and what Hinduism teaches about LGBTQ. But while I was there, I noticed, like, wow, there's so many powerful, intelligent women here, and the majority of his leadership were women. Many sannyas, many grihastas, many mothers, grandmothers, even like young teenage girls, incredibly intelligent, powerful young women, like 16, 17. They already had leadership roles and they were rocking it. And I was so thoroughly impressed. And I remember just a few weeks into being Adhinavasi, he spoke about the LGBTQ views and mentioned how we're actually respected, celebrated, and revered in Hinduism. And he started talking about the 11 genders. And I was just floored. And I'm like, see, I mean, I already knew this was the guru for me, but then I definitely knew he was the guru for me. And Hinduism was absolutely a place I could go home. I was no longer orphaned. Hinduism was absolutely the path for me. Swamiji was the guru for me. And there was a place in Kailasa for me in my own unique path. And I was empowered and celebrated and accepted by many around me, and many like me as well. And since becoming his disciple, I felt incredibly empowered over the years, incredibly confident, like more sure about who I am. And I also learned that I'm more than just, LGBTQ. Like there's more. There's more layers to gender than what you read and learn about in society. There's more of a deeper spiritual aspect to it. So knowing that in Hinduism, there's 11 genders, like I learned more about myself. And it's been a beautiful journey of growth. And to be handheld by Swamiji himself in this journey, I feel more empowered than I've ever been in my life, for sure. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mom, for sharing your journey with Kailasa and Swamiji. And I'm sure so many more women out there who are looking for solution, who are looking for that self-assurance of, being confident about who they are and enrich the world with the intelligence, innate intelligence that they are endowed with. So your journey is definitely inspiring for all of us. And would you like to share about why do you see Kailasa as the only solution for the world? Where especially we are experiencing more than 50% of the women experiencing sexual violence and sexual harassment in their workplace and in their families.
From what I've learned, being Hindu and everything Swamiji has taught. Women are divine. Women are powerful. Like the force behind the universe is feminine, Devi, Parashakti. And there's thousands upon thousands and thousands and thousands of scriptures empowering women and sharing the importance of worshiping the divine feminine, completion with mother. Every step of the way, like Hinduism has always protected women, stood up for women, empowered women, even down to laws about inheritance, taking care of a single woman who does not have husband or family and such. The Rudrakanya tradition. And it's like it's in Hinduism, it's all encompassing. It protects and looks out for women in every aspect of her life. She doesn't have to pick and choose. Look at this, especially as a LGBTQ woman, like all of me is accepted, all of me is respected and celebrated, and the laws are meant to protect me too. And Hinduism celebrates every aspect of a woman and makes sure that it cares for her, protects her, and empowers her in every single way. She is completely revered. As every woman in Hinduism is a form of Devi, Parashakti, and the worship is what it seems like it's all about. You have to see and respect every woman as a form of divine mother, a form of Parashakti, and every aspect of it, medical, legal, social, political, the worship aspect of it, it's all to support a woman in Hinduism. And in Kailasa, Swamiji embodies that in every level. And I feel it will provide support for a woman unlike any other organization or body or government you've ever seen out there in the world. I feel it'll be on the cutting edge of women's rights, like beyond. And it'll be an example to the rest of the world, I feel, that how to revolutionize women's rights, for all women. That's what I feel.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Gurjyoti, for sharing your journey with Swamiji and your journey with Kailasa and how it has empowered you. Thank you so much for joining our segment today.
Nithyananda.
Dear viewers and participants, that is the journey of Gurjyoti, and there are so many more millions of women out there who's looking for a solution, who's really looking for some voice, some support that can empower them, that can assure them who they are, and that can make them powerful, feeling empowered about their existence as women in this market. Swamiji has revived the Hindu feminism in all its senses, whether it is in terms of empowering them emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So Kailasa stands as a testimony of how women can be empowered and how women can express all their abilities as how a Hindu woman used to. So the need for Kailasa is where literally every single one of us can feel that assurance and feel that empowerment, where who you truly are. In a society where there is so much of judgment, so much of abuse, so much of harassment, Kailasa stands as a pillar of support for all the women out there. So if you feel so connected to this cause, to help, to empower, to enrich all the women out there, it is an opportunity for you to be part of Kailasa. Sarvanya Pita is a project where all the various initiatives of Kailasa is supported. So by you becoming a Sarvanyapita Ejaman, you are becoming part of Kailasa. So right now, we are looking for seed money for building the infrastructure of Kailasa, and Maha Kailasa is going to be open this year. So we welcome each and every one of you to join this moment where we can all become part of Maha Kailasa and open the Maha Kailasa for the whole of the humanity to be part of it. So all you need to do is join. You can file your intention in skshjp.org/contribute. So the intentions are being, the form is being projected on the screen. You can sign up for skshjp.org/contribute. And if you have the intention to manifest Sarvanyapita Ejaman and for some reason you're finding a difficulty or an obstacle to manifest it, you may request for a third eye scan. So you can request the third eye scan in the NPSN group, the Paramashivam group, and also would like to hear from participants today. So many of you are women, and you have definitely connected with various other women in your society, in your office place, how they feel about themselves, how confident they are able to move and express themselves in society, you very well know. But on the other hand, after Swamiji has given all these initiations and powerful cognitions, how you are handling the society should be very different than how they handle it. So we like to share your thoughts and your cognitions on how women empowerment is being supported by Kailasa and Swamiji in a big way. Also requesting all the participants, whoever would like to have a third eye scan, you can post that in the MPSN group. Yes. So Yang Lin requested for a scan. Right. So I request you to be seated and chant Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Ma Yanglin. So, I would like to share what Swamiji revealed in Third Eye. First thing, the ideas that you carry about life, right? The very idea that you carry about life, which is the intense hatred that people have for you. It is a perception you carry about life. Now, today, decide that it is just a perception. It is really a perception that people hate you. People have nothing to do about who you are and what you are doing. It is actually your perception which makes you feel that people hate you. So, Yanglian, today, throughout the day, all the exercises that we will be doing today, focus on this life cognition that you are carrying. Because of this life cognition, even in the places where you are expecting wealth to manifest, where you have given money and you wanted people to return the money, or where you wanted to manifest wealth, in all those places also, this very cognition that you carry about life, right? It is literally stopping that abundance to flow through you. So now today, take this entire day, sit and write down all the incidents wherever you felt this intense hatred from life, complete with all of them. And of course, today's darshan, Swamiji is going to burn all of these limiting cognitions that you carry about yourself and life. Intensely connect with Swamiji and pray during the darshan for you to experience healing, for you to experience auspiciousness from life. So, with this, I would like to share with you, moment you start completing with this life cognitions, you will see wealth start to make it happen. Yes. So with this, we come to the end of this segment. I encourage and request all the participants, even if you have the intention to become a Savingapita Yajaman, but you don't know how to manifest, you need to understand that you need to take the first step. Just you taking that first step, Swamiji is going to take million steps for you to manifest this reality for you. So requesting everybody, all the participants and viewers, decide to be part of this Kailasa nation, which is going to solve so many global problems that we are facing in the world today. Kailasa is the only solution that the humanity needs, and Swamiji is reviving Kailasa exclusively for all of us, and he has descended as incarnation of Paramashiva to revive Kailasa and bring back the glory of Hinduism, which has time-tested solutions for all the global problems that we are facing in the world today. So with that note, we'd like to end today's session with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tatsat Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu Om Nithyanandam.
Participants that are eagerly awaiting, that are all eagerly awaiting today's Bhava Samadhi Darshan. All of us are going to be bestowed with the darshan of Mahasadashiva Murti.
We are going to be having the divine audience with Paramashiva himself, where all of us invariably, whatever walk of life you are from, or whatever space that you are right now in, nothing matters. Whether you're stuck in some issues or you're stuck with something inside you or outside you, none of these matter, because all of us are going to enter into the Bhava Samadhi. All the live viewers that are watching us on YouTube and Facebook, if you want to be a part of this live Bhava Samadhi that's happening, you can avail this opportunity by signing up for Mahaparamashivam, because in Mahaparamashivam, right now, in just a few more minutes, we are going to be having a very, very special darshan and a very special session directly with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. So thank you so much for all the viewers that have joined us. Anybody that wants to be a part of this is the call for all of you. Join us for Mahaparamashivam.
And every day we are blessed with various different darshans and exclusive sessions with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Yesterday, Swamiji had a very powerful session, just one session which is equivalent to 10 Mahaparamashivams. And Swamiji simplified one of the most complicated concepts about Hinduism and some of the most complicated things about Hinduism. Swamiji gave it in the most simplified, most practically applicable method to all of us. So do not miss these exclusive sessions. I know there are so many of you out there wanting to be a part, so do not miss it. Please sign up and you all can join us